I am so excited because today is the day. I finally got it in the mail, delivered, and let's open it up and I can show you what it is. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at those end papers. Look at it. Oh. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. Alright, it is official. I am not doing anything for like the rest of the week because I am going to read this because I'm so excited. And ever since I finished the first book, I've been waiting for this one to come out, and now I have it. So I'm going to vlog my reading experience with it and bring you guys along with me. hop on here, and since I'm 200 pages into the book, I will talk to you about it while I'm doing my makeup, because I am going to be filming today my next video. So yeah, so let's get you guys set up. Alright, so House of Sky and Breath, if you haven't read the first book is about a girl named Bryce Quinlan, who is a half-fae, half-human girl. And she lives in this city called Crescent City. And in the first part of the book, her best friend is murdered, and a lot of her friends are too, in her apartment complex that she shares with this friend. And she walks home to that in the middle of the night. So she gets taken in by the 33rd and is questioned, and she doesn't talk about anything that happens. Her mom and stepdad come to check up on her while this is all going down, and she doesn't talk much to them about it either. And so then the book flash forwards 2 years, and she's just living her life the way she thinks she should, and hasn't really coped with everything that's happened. And then another murder happens, and Hunt and his boss decide to bring her in and have her help with the investigation. To sum it all up, a lot of stuff happens in that book. Bryce gets her answers about what happened with her best friend and why she was murdered, and that's about what happens. So I started the second book, and it starts off in the prologue about a girl named Sophie who is trying to free these kids and her brother from this camp that is not good, and so she gets them free, but in the end of that part, she gets caught and dealt with. So then in chapter 1, you start off with Bryce's parents are in town, and it's a few months after the fight that happened in the first one. And I absolutely love Bryce's mom because she is so funny and is to the point, doesn't like step around what's going on. She's pretty blunt. And then all of a sudden, so she's at a party with her brother and Hunt this one night, and all of a sudden this fae prince comes through and drops a bombshell on them. So while this is happening, Bryce wants to get her mom and stepdad out of the city because she just has a feeling some bad stuff's going to be happening, and she doesn't want them to find out what's going on because her mom and stepdad are human. And so you're going through the story, and there's a lot of sexual tension between Bryce and Hunt, and it makes you laugh. And then one night when Bryce and Hunt are coming home, Ethan, who is part of the wolf pack, ends up at Bryce's place, but he is beat up really bad. And so he's in the story, which I absolutely love Ethan, and I'm glad we're getting more in depth on his story and more of him in this book. And you're getting more of Fury, which is really fun because I think Fury is a badass, and I just love her point of view on a lot of stuff. And you don't really know much about Fury because she keeps her private life private. But so they are taking care of Ethan and whatnot, and the next day Bryce goes to work, and Cormac shows up, who is the guy who shows up at the party and drops a bombshell And Bryce isn't having that because Bryce doesn't put up with alpha a-holes, which cracks me up. And she's basically telling him, like, I'm not following through with this, like, you can't make me, all this other stuff, and isn't putting up with his bullcrap. But then Hunt has a new leader of the 33rd, and so he's meeting that person. Well, they come in, and the door opens, and some people from his past, when he was part of the rebellion that was going on like years and years and years ago, 50 years ago, whatever, come in, and he gets into a fight after Bryce tells him that morning, don't go in there and act like an alpha hole. And so she gets a call from Hunt's new boss and comes down to get him, and isn't very happy with him. But she's not, like, mad about it. She's just like, I thought I told you not to do this. And he's like, I'm sorry. But, so she finally gets him out of there after they banter back and forth with these guys that Hunt and her don't like because of what happened in the first book. And they get home, and Varian is there, who is a mare, who's a mermaid, and he drops a huge bombshell on them. And Hunt's not too happy because he doesn't want to be part of the rebels, because he dealt with that already years ago and knows what happens when you work against the Asteri. And so she has to think about it, and he's not too happy, and she goes to work the next day and comes home at lunch and finds, oh, what's his name? The devil guy, I can't think of his name right now. But then he's talking to her, and Bryce hasn't gotten a hold of, like, doesn't understand her full powers yet. And he drops a big bombshell about Cormac and what's going on there, and his, basically how he knows Sophie from the beginning of the book. And that's basically where I'm at. That is basically where I'm at, and the book is starting to get good, and Bryce and Hunt are realizing, well, Bryce is realizing that she doesn't want to wait till winter solstice to do the deed with Hunt. So they end up in an alley and make out and stuff, but she's supposed to be following through on a deal she made with Cormac, and so that is where I'm left off. But I'm excited to continue on in the book because it is has so much tension in it. And also we're getting a lot more of Rune in this book, who is Bryce's brother and the Prince of the Fae, and I just like him as a character. I think he's good, he's sweet, and he's a good brother to Bryce, and he cracks me up, and that's about it. But I will pop in here when I'm about 400 pages into the book and give you an update on it. And until then, I will talk to you guys later.
Guys, I know it's been a while since I've updated you on my book. I've made it to over 600 pages, so I have about 170 something pages left in the book to read. And I haven't been updating you because I've been taking care of some sick kids at home, doing some homeschooling stuff, so been very busy doing that. I prioritize that over doing my booktube stuff. But other than that, a lot of stuff has happened, and since everybody's starting to feel better, I decided I'm going to do my hair and makeup and update you guys on what I've read so far in the book while I'm doing that. Okay, so a lot of stuff has gone down in the book. So Rune has been communicating with a rebel sympathizer or rebel on his own about stuff for missions and whatnot. And so that person's name, so far that we know, is Daybright. And I'm telling you this right now, if we do not find out who she is by the end of this book, I'm going to be so mad. Because I really want to know who it is. I have my speculations. It's either going to be Celestina, who is the new, basically the boss of Hunt and all them, or it's going to end up being Hypatia, who is Rune's fiance that his father is forcing to marry. I don't know for sure, but those are my guesses. But if it's another wacky guess that I have that's really out there is somebody who we wouldn't expect it to be them, and is somebody who's working against the rebels, acting like they are, but is for the rebels and collecting intel. I'm not for sure. But it says in the book that Rune and her are supposed to meet up at this party by the fountain at midnight, and can't wait to read that part. And also, Hunt and Bryce finally got together like chapters and chapters ago. They finally did the deed, and Bryce finds out she has a lot more powers than what she thought, and she's trying to figure out how to use them, and so that she can end up using them against like the Asteri and the people who are trying to come for the rebels. And also, the people who they were looking for, they found them, but it's not what you would expect. I don't want to give too much away because I don't want to spoil the book too much, but it's really sad, and I don't know if I trust Baxian so much, but I don't know, because he says he is a rebel sympathizer, but I don't know how to take that, and Bryce and them don't fully trust him, which I don't blame them for, especially Hunt, because of his past and everything with Sandriel. I definitely do not trust Pollux or the Hind, because they're really sketchy, and the Hind creeps me out. But what I don't get, that I'm really confused about, is the Hind and them found Bryce and Hunt and Therion and Cormac and Rune meeting up with this specific person, but they never turned them in for it. And this person who they met up with is the leader of the rebels, kind of. but the Hind never turns them in. So I'm really confused about that. And they are too. They don't understand why she didn't. I don't know. But this book, I don't know what to think right now. And I have a good idea how it's going to end. But I don't think it's going to end that way. I think something sad's going to happen. And I think I'm going to end up bawling my eyes out because of it. I don't know if I am ready for that part or not. But I am excited to finish this book. Then I have to wait probably like a whole year until the third one comes out. And it's going to be agony to wait over. Oh yeah, also, Ithan, Tharion, and Bryce go to this astronomer guy, and because Ithan wants to find out if Connor is in the Bone Quarter or if he's okay, even though he passed away in the first one, which is his brother. And while they're there, things happen. They talk to another Prince of Hell. There's a lot of Princes of Hell in this book, and it's kind of hard to sometimes keep them apart. But they talk to this one, and things start going wrong. So Ithan pulls one of the mystics, who are these characters who have special powers and can see, like, I don't know, like dead people or give people, like, I'm not for sure how to describe them. But as he's freeing one of them, it's a girl who is saying, put me back, put me back. But then when Ithan went back another time, the astronomer wasn't there, and that girl was still out of her connection. So, like, the way that these mystics are connected up is they float in water, and they have, like, a breathing tube down their throat, and that's how they also communicate and can go under for the astronomer. And while he's there, he's talking to her, but then he finds out that she is a wolf, and she's like an alpha, which he's not too happy about her being there, because he even says, you know, wolves shouldn't be caged up, which I totally agree. And the reason why she's there is because her family sold her to the astronomer. But so while he's there, he went back to pay the astronomer the money that he owed him. But while he's there, he's so angry and he's mad because this girl won't go with him that he ends up taking the astronomer's rings. And those rings have, I want to say fire sprites, I think that's what they're called, in them. And so he takes them back with him to Rune's house, because that's where he's staying. And Flynn and Declan decide to set them free. Here to find out, one of them isn't even a fire sprite, they are a dragon. And yeah, I don't know where that part's going, but I think we'll find more out about that in the third book when that one comes out. And yeah, I don't know. But so let's see. So Hypatia and the Hind are actually sisters. They have different dads, same mom. And the Hind was raised by her dad because she had her dad's powers. That's why. And you find out that Hypatia, the way she was raised, was not an ordinary way and all that, but she wants to meet up with the Hind and talk to her because she's never spoken to her before. And I don't know how this exchange is going to go. I don't even know if it's going to happen in this book. But I am hoping if it does go a certain way that it goes good, or she finds out that her sister is a bad person and she can't be trusted. But yeah, that's about all the updates I have on the book. But like I said, I'm very excited to finish this book and find out what happens with Bryce and Hunt, and the rebellion, and with the Hind, and the Hellhound, and Pollux. And the Hellhound is Baxian. He is an archangel, but can form into basically a wolf, but a vicious one. And so, yeah, I don't know what to think. I'm so confused, but I feel like the ending's gonna be really sad. And if something big happens, I will update you guys, or if for some reason I just start crying because of this book, I will come on here and let you guys know about that. But until then, I'm gonna finish doing my hair and makeup, film a video, and hopefully finish the book either tonight or tomorrow and finish out this reading vlog. What just happened in my life? Sarah J. Maas, what did you do to me? And now I have to wait until the next book comes out in like a year? With that ending? I don't know. You're evil. I'm just kidding. I absolutely love your books. But let's talk about what I liked about House of Sky and Breath. I liked everything. Everything that happened in it. 5-star read. Is most likely a favorite of the year so far. And it's only February. It's only February. And I have a favorite of the year so far. That's crazy. Alright, let's start with the one person in this book that I do not like and I do not trust. It's Celestina. She is I'm gonna put this down. She ratted on Bryson Hunt to the hysteria about what they were planning and the way he was leaving the morning that they went. Like, what? They were keeping her secret for her, and they were actually liked her. And I don't know if any of the stuff that she said was true to them or what, but I absolutely do not like her. Finding out who Day was, mind blown. She was one of the people that I was guessing it was, but I was still shocked because it was like an out there kind of guess. But I don't know if we can really trust her. That's the thing. And now Rune is mad at her, and I don't know. And then the ending. I don't want to say what happens, but if you know my pain right now, but my excitement at the same time. I don't know what happened to Hunt at the end, and that's the part that's killing me because you just know that he screamed, and that's it. You don't know what Rigelus was doing to him, but I feel like it's either the obvious where he's back to being a slave, or he erased Bryce from his mind. And Bryce and Hunt are mates. Like, but that's the way that I think that it's gonna go, because that would make a cool storyline. And all that. And then the stuff that happened with Cormac, I'm heartbroken over. Even though I didn't like him that much, but it was still sad because he sacrificed himself for the cause. Because he was saving Therion. And then now, like, Therion is basically a prisoner to the Viper Queen. What? I don't know. And then the way, like, the ending was with how, like, Ithan found out about what happened, like, you can just tell by reading reading this on the way that Deck and Flynn were feeling, and that was just heartbreaking. And the fact that Ithan went in and was like, no matter what, he was saving that mystic, like, awesome. Like, good for you. But then, like, the surprise about who she actually is and her lineage was crazy. And now I feel like that's going to be a big part of the next book. But I don't know how the next book is going to go because there's so much up in the air about what could happen. And then the scenes with Bryce and Hunt when they were, they were so good because you can just tell how much they loved each other. I can't stop gushing about it. But now I have to wait like a year until the next book comes out. Like, what am I gonna do with my life? I don't know. Read more books, but none of them are gonna be up to these standards. I mean, evil. I absolutely loved the book, and I did not cry, so thank goodness. It was just more, I didn't film right after I was done because my emotions were crazy. Like, they were just all over the place, and I didn't know how to put it into words. And, like, I just had to sit there after I read it and just stare, because I didn't know what to do. But I am excited to see where she takes this story and all that, and I cannot wait till the next book. And I will say, this is probably going to be my favorite book of the year, but it's only February. There's how many more months to this year, so we'll see. But I absolutely love this. I recommend this to everybody. Well, 18 plus, obviously. But yeah. That's it for this long video. If you stayed and watched the whole thing, thank you so much. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. And if you want to know when my next video is going up, hit that subscribe and that notification bell, and you will be the first to know when my next video goes up. And until next time, keep on reading, you guys. Bye!